All right, today's episode is going to be Sex Talk 101, episode 16. Hold on. Whoa, the Nature Boy! 16-time world heavyweight champion, baby. Jeff Lyon, Will Dillon, son of a gun. Woo! I know you're like, damn, Alex, why you got to be so over the top early in the morning? Well, it's episode 16, and Ric Flair is a professional wrestler that's retired, that's been wrestling for 3 decades, and he won 16 World Heavyweight Championships. Actually, he won more than 16, but that ain't the point of the video. The point of the video is it's Sex Talk 101, episode 16. Self-improvement will help you get hot women. Now, self-improvement is a very strong discussion here on YouTube. You got black men that have talked about self-improvement, white men, and I decided that it was my time, my turn, to come on the internet, the World Wide Web, and give out my experience on self-improvement, the advantages that it gives you. Now, let's talk about why some men don't want to do self-improvement in the world of sex and dating with the opposite sex, women that are from the ages of 18 to 29 years of age, and why these men don't want to do it. A lot of these men are afraid of constructive criticism. Now, they say in the world of Guinness Book of World Records, the number one fear is rejection. There's the fear of death, and then there's the fear of rejection. Now, the fear of rejection is a strong and powerful emotion. Very powerful feeling. When you go for a job interview, 99.99% accurately, what are you afraid of? Rejection. When you go to the movie theater and you get ready to see a big Hollywood blockbuster movie, what are you afraid of? Not getting ready to see the movie because it's going to be sold out. When you get turned away, what do you feel? Rejection. And when it comes to the opposite sex of dating the most baddest woman on the planet, you feel what? Rejection. Now, self-improvement is a result of 2 things and 2 things only. Constructive criticism, rejection of failure. When you have a job and your boss or your supervisor or manager brings you into the office, a lot of times they complain about your work performance, right? At my job, I get brought in every now and then. They'll say, Alex, you need to do a little bit better at the front door. Alex, you can roam around, but don't roam around too much. You can talk to other employees, but you can't do it all the time. So even I get some constructive criticism. When I go to the gym and I be working out for about 1 hour and 45 minutes, sometimes 1 hour and 55 minutes at the gym, or close to 2 hours, or just about 2 hours, I do get some constructive criticism at the gym. Now you could say maybe 5 or maybe 6 years, it's a total of 10 years, but maybe 5 or maybe 6 out of 10 years, I got criticized a lot going to the gym. I had a lot of guys in their 30s and their 40s, their 50s, and their 60s telling me, nah, youngster, you're doing it all wrong. When you get on the treadmill, you can't be doing no 20 minutes on the treadmill. You got a fat ass gut. You need to do 35, 45 minutes on the treadmill, because women ain't gonna look at you twice if you got a fat gut. So once someone showed me how to get on the treadmill the proper way, we do 35, 45, 50, 55 minutes on a treadmill. Then we get on the Stairmaster and try to knock out 20 to 30 minutes on the Stairmaster. Once someone show you how to do something properly and you do it 10 to 15 times or 20 times or 30 times, you improve. That is the benefits and the advantages of self-improvement. Now, how did this translate to women? Well, that's funny that you ask. See, a lot of men are afraid of rejection. Now, let's take this theory that if I put in all the hard work, if I put in all the dedication, I'm gonna get nothing back return, and I'm gonna get cheated out of a golden opportunity. Yeah, there is a strong 50 or 60% chance that if you work your ass off, you may get cheated out of a golden opportunity. Now, I'm gonna talk about what's the difference between when I couldn't get the attention of women and how I'm getting the attention today at 32 years old. What is the complete difference? See, if I had a time machine and I went back 10 years back to when I was in my 20s, I was getting women's attention, but that was only because I looked like a professional basketball player and a professional football player. And that was the only two reasons why I was getting some attention. I had what they call anxiety problems. I was nervous. I was shy. I was afraid of women giving me constructive criticism. And I already made a YouTube video about if you're introverted, how to have more fun and how to learn how to talk to women so you don't have that problem. And back in my 20s, I used to get rejected constantly. I used to get the hand in my face. I used to get the girls rolling their eyes. I used to have girls give me the look like fuck off. And my mom would look at me and say, "You're a nice, handsome man." And my mom used to say this with a straight, serious look on her face. Not every woman like you. Not every woman is for you. Just because you look on the news media and they tell you you got to be rich and famous to get beautiful, attractive women, don't mean that when you become rich and famous, you're going to get the same type of women. There are cases where you become a multi-millionaire, a multi-billionaire, and you're still getting average or below average women for the first 5 years because you don't know how to get the super hot, attractive women. Then there are times where you can't even still get the attention of women because not enough people know that you're rich and famous. When I was in high school, a lot of men hated LL Cool J. A lot of guys hated LL Cool J. You know, he does movies, television. He put out 10 to 11 albums. You know, 3 years ago he put out his 12th album. So LL Cool J now has 12 albums. He's a R&B, you know, artist. They hated Will Smith because Will Smith was getting all the fine ass women. And when I got into college, guys hated Lil Wayne. They hated Drake. And I used to say, you guys hate Lil Wayne and you hate Drake because they get the most baddest women on the planet. They would go to Atlanta. They would go to New Orleans. They would go to Chicago. They would go to New York City, Los Angeles, especially Miami. And they would get all the fly ass women. And I hear guys 90% of the time say, I hate LL Cool J. I hate Will Smith. I hate 50 Cent. But I mostly hate Lil Wayne and Drake because they keep getting all the fine ass women. And whenever I go to take math, English, or a PE class, women would be talking about, I just love me some Drake. I just love me some Lil Wayne. I just love me some 50 Cent. And a lot of guys would get red in the face and say, shut the fuck up because I don't want to hear Lil Wayne's name. I don't want to hear Drake. And women would criticize these men by saying, you're just mad because you ain't light-skinned and you ain't handsome like Drake. You don't got game like Drake. You ain't got fame and fortune like Drake. You ain't blessed with talent. And a lot of these guys would be ready to get up and punch a woman in the face because they can't handle constructive criticism. That's what this YouTube video is all about. Self-improvement. Now, today I work at the Grove area. Not today, but what I mean is I'm a part-time security guard that works 3 to 4 times a week. I usually make anywhere between $300 to sometimes $600, you know, an hour. Because if it's 3 to 4 times a week, that's how much money I make. If I work on a holiday, that's called time and a half. Sometimes it could be $620. Sometimes it could be almost $700. But I have 2 jobs currently. Now, I don't go to my second job. I was supposed to work at the Coliseum today and tomorrow, but I like my day off. So maybe next week I might go to another college or pro football game at the Coliseum. But the point is, I had to self-improve myself to get 2 jobs. I had to self-improve my clothes, my shoes, my haircut, my looks, my physical attributes. I had to self improve in every category. And this did not happen overnight. It ain't like in the movies and the television shows where you wake up and all of a sudden you got six pack abs and you look like Peter Parker from the Spider-Man films. It took me 6 to 9 months of grinding in the gym. It was cardio, it was weight training, cardio, cardio, weight training, cardio, weight training. For 6 to 9 months, it was grind, grind, and grind in the gym. It was the treadmill, the Stairmaster, the free weights, the elliptical. It was grind and grind and grind and grind in the gym. Both my jobs, people look at me and go, you working out, you lifting weights, you doing cardio. And I said the rule is someone has to open their mouth and tell you you're self-improving. See, if you look in the mirror and say I self-improve, it doesn't count because it's just you looking in the mirror. You got to have people at your job, at church, at the park, at the gym, at the movie theater, the mall, the supermarket. You got to have at least 10 to 15 people tell you you're getting in great athletic shape. Keep up the work. They have to say it. If they don't say it, you're not self-improving yourself. See, the reason why Big Boss Calvin 83 is not getting anywhere with women, or as he like to say, the bitches in the hoes, is because 13 years ago from today, Big Boss Calvin 83 went to a gym. He got into athletic shape. He was getting ready to lose 80 pounds of body fat. And what happened to Big Boss Calvin 83 was he got constructive criticism from black women. And it destroyed his motivation. It killed his confidence. And just like that, he stopped talking to women for like almost a decade and a half because they criticized him. And this is why you can't stop self-improving. You can't start 2 months, 3 months, and then month number 4 come up, you stop. There's a case where guys have what they call a relapse. It's like drinking alcohol. If you say I'm going to stop smoking, stop drinking, and stop doing drugs, you have to actually be committed to the idea of stopping smoking, drinking, and doing drugs. And when you have a relapse, okay, maybe the first 2 or 3 times you're going to have a relapse. It's like what Allen Iverson said. Allen Iverson said the most realest shit you're ever going to hear. Sometimes basketball is easy. Sometimes basketball is very hard. Translation, sometimes self-improvement is really easy. Sometimes self-improvement is extremely hard and complicated. There are days where you want to ball your hand up into a fist and punch out 2 walls like the Incredible Hulk, because 1 minute you feel like you're actually getting somewhere, and then in the next minute you feel like you're not getting anywhere. You're not getting no results. But I used to do martial arts. My senseis used to always tell me, do not do the same style all the time. If I teach you karate, do not do karate in the street thinking it is always going to save you. Sometimes you might have to do kung fu, Brazilian jiu-jitsu, knit jiu-jitsu. You might have to do taekwondo. You might have to do jeet kune do. You might have to learn Muay Thai. You might have to learn boxing or kickboxing. Don't ever do the same style of martial arts over and over. What's the reason of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over and over again and expect new results. Now, that's a double-edged sword because the theory is, in order for you to be good at something, you have to keep doing it until you reach a level. Now, you have to understand that when you do self-improvement, you can't stop. Now, you can take a break for about a month, 2 months. You might be able to get away with 3 months of not doing self-improvement. But at some point, you have to start back up and get back out there and continue to self-improve yourself. This works in every category. The gym, women, work, life. You got to keep self-improving. See, when you stop self-improving, it's like an illusion. It's like someone takes an airplane, kidnap you, and drop you off on a desert island, and there's no food and water, and after walking for like 2 days you see a giant turkey, and you think the giant turkey's there, and when you get closer and closer, the turkey gets further and further away from you. You get closer and closer to the turkey. All of a sudden, you come back to realization there's no turkey, but you saw one. Well, guess what? Self improvement is to help you self improve. Now, let's talk about how women notice your self improvement. Remember when 50 Cent said in his rap song, "I'm gonna teach you how to stunt"? Translation, 50 Cent was trying to say in his rap song, "I'm gonna show you guys how to stunt like me and how to pull the bitches and the hoes." And 50 Cent said, "You gotta stunt so hard, everyone has to stop what they're doing and turn and pay attention to you. Once you do that, you have everyone's undivided attention." 50 Cent told you in his rap album, "I'm gonna teach you how to stunt." And what 50 Cent is saying is, you stunt so hard, every woman that you possibly can think of and imagine is going to look at you 99.99% of the time. Lil Wayne told you in his album. Remember that song "Pop Bottles"? First you start from the bottom. First you start from the bottom and you work your way to the top. First he said, "Fuck with the hood rats, then top models. Drink the straight shots, then pop bottles. I am the Birdman." He told you you have to do self-improvement. Drake, the one that everybody loves to hate, he told you, "I started from the bottom, now I'm here at the top." Translation, self-improvement. The more hard work and dedication you put in, the more you get out of it. Kevin Durant, right? Everybody knows who Kevin Durant is, right? A professional basketball player. Been playing professional basketball for the last 10 or 11 years in the NBA, right? Now, remember the 2012 NBA Finals when he lost to the Miami Heats? You know, LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh. And remember how everybody was laughing and making fun of Kevin Durant because he broke down in the hallway tunnel crying because he was this close away from winning an NBA championship? How about when he lost to the Golden State Warriors in 7 games? Again, he got this close to going back to the NBA Finals. But one day, Kevin Durant went to the NBA Finals and beat LeBron James. And do you know how that happened? It happened with self-improvement. He went to a prison in Oakland and got a pep talk from a bunch of criminals. That pep talk changed Kevin Durant. His killer instinct, his mannerisms, the way he talked, the way he acted around people. All of a sudden, it's like he transformed into a new person. And when he dominated in that NBA Finals, he won an NBA championship. You turn around, he won 2 NBA championships. And that's only because of self-improvement. So there's a lot of ways I could break down self-improvement. But self-improvement isn't just about getting women. Self-improvement is about how you improve at work, in the gym, women, how you improve in life. Most importantly, self-improvement is about yourself. It's about how to boost your confidence. See, this crap about confidence is not real, confidence don't exist. That's because these guys tried it, they get rejected 5 times, and it's the end of the world. Sometimes you have to get rejected. See, rejection is how you improve. Rejection is how you get better. Now, that don't mean every woman's gonna come after you when you do it. It's gonna take at least 2 to 3 years of you getting rejected before it starts working. That's why I say you have to keep pushing. You have to keep pushing. You ever seen that movie called 300? The very first film with Jerron Butler? You notice in that movie, he didn't give a fuck about himself. He didn't care if he lived, if he died, what if he got captured, what if he got kidnapped and tortured. He didn't give a fuck about that shit. All King Leonidas cared about was, I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna fight, I'm gonna kick ass and take names, and when it's over, the only one thing you're going to remember is my name. And you heard the man say in the movie he did not wish tribute. He wasn't trying to get rich and famous. He wasn't even trying to have no one kiss his ass. All King Leonidas wanted to show the rest of his race, you can go out and fight a giant army and prove that you can take the greatest army and you can break them. And King Leonidas did that because he self-improved himself. You ever see the movie called Troy with Brad Pitt, where the little boy walks up to Achilles and he tells Achilles there's this guy that's 7 feet tall, 300 pounds muscle that wants to kill you. And you know what Achilles told the little boy? He said, why don't you go fight him? And the little kid responded back and said, I don't want to because I'm scared of him. And you know what Achilles told the little boy? He said, when it's all said and done, no one will remember your name. Self-improvement, when it's all said and done, it's not about fame. It's not about fortune. It's not about how many women you get. All when it's all said and done, it's all about your name. That's why they made a rap song called Remember the Name. Because when it's all said and done, it's all about your name. Self-improvement ultimately is about you and what you self-improve on. The women will always be there. The women will always come. If you look at movies like 300 and you look at movies like Troy, those two movies show a guy self-improved. Remember the fighting scene where Achilles go fight the guy and he takes him out with one hit and the guy goes down? That's because he practiced that one fighting technique hundreds of times. He would get up every single morning, if you read your history books on the war of Troy, because Troy lasted for 10 years as a war, and he practiced that one sword technique hundreds of times until he perfected it to its perfection. And when he goes out in the battle, he would win 85 to 95% of his fights. Now, you could argue that, women got him messed up and all, but the point of the story was he practiced to self-improve. So I don't want to make this video longer than it already is. Until next time, peace.